Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. Where else would we be? Where else would we rather be? Where else would you rather be than right here with us on the Brilliantly Dumb Show? I'm trying to extend this intro as long as possible so I could see the boys because right now I just can't see them. That is Joey D coming in hot, top left shelf here from the Holiday Inn of all places. So apologies if the Wi-Fi isn't exactly up to par. And Mikey V getting ready for the stream tonight has joined us here today. Mikey V, how are you today, sir?
Just wonderful. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I coming in clear?
We can hear you okay there, Mikey V. Joey D, can we get that mic check out of you?
I don't have the mic set up, but I'm sure you can still hear me.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Rocking and rolling. Cutsy has arrived.
This guy.
Look, fellas, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm obsessed with it. Is this chili shirt not just tremendous?
It's a nice shirt.
It is, and it actually fits good, and it actually feels really, really
You look
good.
like a restaurant shirt.
What do you mean by that, Joe?
Like, I mean, it looks like a nice shirt. Doesn't
I
like
thought you were saying it does look like a restaurant shirt.
No,
I
said
agree.
It doesn't look like a restaurant shirt. It looks like a Zara style fit or something.
And by the way, Zara, I mean, I would say it's our place, but maybe it's, I don't know if you're as big on Zara as you introduced me to Zara. I think Zara is terrific.
It is, yeah. You look good for not too much money.
Yes, the problem that I have with Zara and most clothes in general is everything shrinks. Somebody's got to figure out a washer machine or something to where that something that
doesn't hand wash,
shrink.
Bob. It's made in Bangladesh.
I know, but God forbid you put it into the wash one time or you put it into the dryer one time, which does happen. Things get mixed up. The shirt's done. It's over with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Mikey V, you're not going to like to hear this, but I actually like Jake Paul does these oversized shirts. I know you don't want to hear it, but
yeah, he looks good. And by the way, he just signed a deal to be an MMA fighter. This guy just keeps doing it, man.
Yeah, Jake hopefully he doesn't fight like a retired garbage man his first like 5 fights. That's probably what he'll do to pass that. Oh, Jake Paul, new MMA fighter, is going to fight Barry Sanders in his first fight, ladies and gentlemen. What a tremendous victory this would be for the young man. Give me a fucking break.
Well, Mikey V, is that a bourbon we have here today?
That's a little Macallan 15-year-old singing.
Whoa, a nice humble little brag there, Mikey V.
He's celebrating the Bears being the worst in the NFL.
I'm celebrating the Bears getting the first overall pick. Joe, I would tread very lightly considering your playoff lives are on the line.
We're winning tonight. We're winning tonight. I'm telling you right now. And by the way, the Seahawks just won, Mikey V.
Pomposity out of this.
The Seahawks just won, which means the Detroit Lions are officially eliminated. Which means
you don't think that Dan Campbell is going to want to play ultimate spoiler? Have you ever met or listened to this guy speak, Joe? This guy lives for moments like this. Yeah, this guy gets a hard on.
Living because it's not going to happen in that frigid temperatures of Lambeau tonight.
Hey, listen, I got Jared Goff, one of the plays in the Prizepicks tonight, over half an interception. I think Goff definitely throws a pick tonight, but I think it's going to be. I think Green Bay is going to win. I do think Green Bay is going to win. I hope there's some points though. I hope it's like a good game. That's what I hope for. But I do think Goff will make a mistake. Goff, Joey D, you're right. His home away splits. Jared Goff on the road is a totally different quarterback outside in the elements than he is inside the dome. Totally. Always has been, always will be.
You know what's amazing to me, and I know you can't actually, Mikey V, obviously you're thrilled with the Bears now having the first overall pick. I think the Texans who beat them today, would they have had a shot? If the Texans had lost, would they have now had a shot at the first overall pick?
Texans would have had it.
Say it again, Bob.
What I don't get is a number one pick can change a franchise. And I know you can't just, morally, you can't just go out and just lay an egg intentionally.
I mean, the Bears did. The Bears had like a fourth string quarterback playing some guy named Boyle today. That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
But Bob, here's the thing is the Texans need a quarterback. The Bears don't need a quarterback. So the Texans at number 2, they're still going to get either CJ Stroud or Bryce Young.
Yeah, that's
so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but it does matter though, because if they really liked Bryce Young or they really like CJ Stroud, now as the Bears sit in the catbird seat at number 1, they can move that pick and someone can jump Houston. Whereas if Houston had the number 1 pick, they just take their guy. They got it. It's locked in. It's automatic. Now it could become a bidding war. It's not could become a bidding war. It's going to become a bidding war. And the Colts are going to be one of those teams, funny enough, that are going to be in that bidding war. The team that lost to them today is going to be one of those teams that's going to be trying to jump them to get the quarterback.
Yeah.
Which is going to be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's shit. I've been wanting the Jets to lay an egg for a long time, and whether they've done it
That
intentionally
was
or
a
not. I
tough
mean,
game, man.
we're
What a
just a
tough watch
team
that game
that,
was.
yeah, I mean, it's
Battle of
just,
the field goals there in Miami.
I tell you what, there was a point in this season where between my team and Mikey V's team, there wasn't much hope for anything. And Bob was the only team with the Jets who looked like they had some promise. And now Mikey V's got the first overall pick in the next year's draft. I might somehow wind up in a playoff spot, even though I don't think they'll do much with it. And Bob's Jets are once again they're just good enough that they're not going to get a good draft pick, and just bad enough that they won't make the playoffs.
The Jets are once again in football purgatory right now because they have a really good team. They have a young core. The defense is firing on all cylinders. I don't think Salah's a bad coach. I don't think Robert Salah's a bad coach. They have the weapons on offense. They have an offensive line, a really good offensive line when they're healthy. It's just they whiffed so bad on Zach Wilson. And now for them to sit there and say, we still believe in this guy and we're going to, we're not done with him and his story isn't written and all this stuff. Like, I don't know how you could say that after you've benched him multiple times. His days have to be over in New York. I can't see how they could go back to that well, because the instant he has a bad game, the Jets in New York, the fans in New York, Bob, we're the most volatile fan base in the entire country. New York fan base is the most volatile fan base in the entire country. They will crucify this team if they put Zach Wilson back out there next year and he stinks it up for a game or two. They'll crucify him.
Yeah, well, at the same time, though, in regards to them saying that, of course they're going to say that. I really don't think they actually believe that. And I think the problem is, by the time they do find the quarterback, you're never going to be good if you don't have a quarterback. By the time they do have a good quarterback, all the guys on the roster they have now that are really good because they do have a good roster, they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. It's just a mess. It's just
Garrett Wilson under the rookie contract. Garrett Wilson looks like a legit stud wide receiver one. This kid's unbelievable. And then, that Breece Hall, if Breece Hall doesn't get hurt, Breece Hall is one of those running backs where you're just going to run him into the ground on his rookie deal. You're not, you know what I mean? Like, that's what they do with these kids now that come out playing running back. He's an all-purpose weapon. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He could score the ball anytime he touches it. The Jets are set up so well. But I think they're going to bring a veteran quarterback in. I think they may look to Green Bay to try and grab Rodgers. I think they may look to Baltimore to try and grab Lamar Jackson. I think the Jets are going to go after a marquee, established guy in the offseason. And that could be what does it for him and push him over the edge. You never know. But it's tough.
I wouldn't mind. By the way, I wouldn't mind any of those, Mike V. I really wouldn't.
No, how could you?
Let's go ahead. Let's change gears here for a second, okay? The Wendy's podcast yesterday, booming. Absolutely booming. Last week. Yes. Mikey V, it actually looked like you were really hurting through that Wendy's, and we were talking about it in the group chat. To think that
block of cheese was
let me just say this. To mistake a block of cheese for a piece of chicken, that just speaks volumes to the state that I was in mentally that week. It just speaks volumes. I mean, I was literally in the worst place you could possibly be, but I tell you what, if there was ever a bounce back, this week was a bounce back, man. I was in the gym Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, things that I never go to the gym on Sunday, ever. This was a major bounce back week. I needed it in the worst way. No longer mistaking chicken for cheese, and we're right back on track for this week.
I mean, am I wrong, Joey D, to say that, like, you could tell on that podcast? And part of it, with all due respect, Mikey, that's what made it so funny, was to watch him eating this, and he hated
like shame eating.
Yes,
yeah, it really was.
Very sluggish. Yeah, very un-Mikey V-like.
At that point, I had just given it all up. You're at a point where you're just saying, you know what, I'm in so deep fucking at this point, and that's what I did. Now, I wasn't expecting Bob to really, the chocolate chip cookie and the Baconator fries. Bob really knew what he was doing.
Mikey, you dig yourself a hole because you always eat everything he sends you.
That is true.
There's starving kids around the world, Joe. It's not right not to. What am I going to do? Throw it out? That's not right.
You have a whole family there. You got Holly.
Dom had some chicken nuggets.
Did he get those nuggets?
He did, Bob. He did. He did. He's very appreciative of it. Not that he would tell you, but he's very appreciative.
And you could even give him the cookie to G Baby.
I tell you what, that may be Wendy's secret weapon.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Chocolate chip cookie is tremendous. Tremendous.
Wendy's head to toe. That menu that they have there, Joey D even loves the chili. I've never had the chili.
Chili's good, and the baked potato with chives and sour cream.
Amazing,
potato's good.
I mean, look, to sit here and say that they couldn't arguably be one of the number one fast food joints in the planet. I mean, it really they are that good. I mean, now I got to go out and I got to try that cookie there, Mikey V.
Yeah, Bob, that cookie is a must try. So Holly had taken like a bite of that cookie and left it. And then when I went in the kitchen, I saw a bite was gone and I was like, how's this? And she's like, try that cookie. I was like, all right. And I took a bite and I was like, yeah, I looked at her and she's like, isn't that good? I was like, this is fucking good, this cookie. This cookie is the real deal. That cookie is it's perfectly structured, perfect taste. Not too hard, not too soft, right where it needs to be. Good distribution on the chocolate chips all around. That cookie is a high 8 ranking cookie, maybe a low 9, bro. I'm not even kidding. That's a delicious cookie. Delicious cookie.
I think Mikey V sees the food floor very, very well. It drinks food, everything, which why it's still I can't wrap my head around. And I get we've talked about it that it's somehow better in New Jersey. To see Mikey V promoting Dunkin' Donuts every single day and drinking that garbage coffee is disappointing to me because I mean, Joey D, how about that Starbucks that we had today? It's so superior to Dunkin' every single time you get it that I thought for sure you would be a Starbucks guy, Mikey V.
No, a little too bougie for my liking. But I tell you this, I think Dunkin' in the ice coffee realm. I'm not a big Dunkin' hot coffee guy. I'm an ice. I think whatever they did with this cold brew, the cold foam iced coffee is just it's just very well done. I think, I don't put any extra milk or cream in it. I drink it black and just take whatever sweetener. Now I do drink the heavy sweetener flavors. I always go with the now that the peppermint mocha is out of season, I've just been doing the regular mocha cold foam brew, black with the cold foam on top. Delicious coffee, man. It's delicious. I got to tell you. Now, Starbucks came out with something that is interesting, though. They came out with a pistachio.
I've just had it.
And how was it?
I've been honest with you.
You had it?
It's one of the best iced coffees I've ever had.
My cousin told me the same thing. I might have to try. I don't like switching brands like that. I'm loyal to Dunkin'. I'm a loyal Dunkin' drinker.
It's absolutely tremendous. It's such a good coffee. And by the way, something that Starbucks doesn't get enough credit for is the food items that they have. They don't look great when you eat them, but the food items are not bad at all. Am I wrong there, Joey D?
They have a good parfait.
I haven't had the parfait. Do you eat the parfaits from Starbucks?
Joe would be a Starbucks parfait guy.
He would. Does that not check out?
Brand. It's on brand.
It's on brand.
It's on brand, Joe.
It is. He's right.
What is it?
Starbucks.
I mean, it's not just me saying. Bob agrees.
They're elite, so they're the best at what they do. So I like to frequent them, and
I think it's very tough to make anything look good when you put it behind that museum quality glass at the counter. You know what I mean? Like, I just think like something about that is just not that appealing to me when you put the food behind the museum glass. But that being said, I've had some food items from Starbucks. I don't think anything extravagant, but I've had one of those like cake pops maybe once or twice. No, right.
You know what coffee spot I like is Blue Bottle, Bob.
Yeah, but that's only an LA thing. I don't think a lot of the listeners. It is a good coffee, but it's such a. I think that's only LA to where not many
California
people.
Only.
Yeah, it's very. I think so. I could be wrong.
This place is high end, Mikey V. This place makes Starbucks look like Walmart.
Oh, well, that's, I mean, what could they charge you for a cup of coffee at this place? $10?
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
You know what I stopped doing? You know what I stopped doing because you guys bullied me out of it? Where
Uber driving a $20 coffee to your house?
He lives across the street from Starbucks, and he was Uber Eating it to his apartment.
Yeah, I not to say that I haven't done it as much, but I've been a little more. I've been doing a lot of the Keurig stuffs because you guys kind of bullied me out of that. To where even Mikey V like that a lot of the LA type stuffs that I would get. Do you remember when I postmated the hard-boiled egg and a smoothie? Yeah, I did. Ticket busted my balls because I ordered delivery. I got it delivered an ice cream cone, and I paid an extra $2 for ice packs, like to get
it wasn't dry ice.
Dry ice. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt the Brilliantly Dumb Show to let you know that the Brilliantly Dumb Show is brought to you by our good friends over at BetterHelp.com. Life doesn't always go the way you want to, and it doesn't come with a user manual. So when it's not working for you, it's normal to feel stuck. That's why BetterHelp.com is here. BetterHelp.com matches you with a licensed therapist. They have matched over 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists, available 100% online, plus it's affordable, and you don't have to go to a doctor's office or go to some type of building. You could do it all from the comfort of your new home, of your home. You can't go wrong when you go with BetterHelp.com. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/BDS. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/BDS. BetterHelp.com. Change your life today for the better. Fellas, let's go ahead. Let's get on into our buy or sell segment of the week, okay? Then we'll hop into Bobby Blockbusters. I think we got a really good top 5 out here today. Buy or sell. I'll go ahead and start us off if I may. The DeMar Hamlin thing last week was brutal. He's not going to be in the buy or sell, but that was brutal, man. I mean, we were all texting each other watching that when that went down. And I think the whole world, anybody watching that game was absolutely shook. And even when they panned back to SportsCenter and they went away from the broadcast, I couldn't leave my couch. I just couldn't turn it off. I was just shook. I think everybody was shook. They went back to SportsCenter, a guy who was tremendous throughout the entire thing. And I thought even before any of that happened, he's just so well spoken. He played the game. He's an analyst now, and he's truly unbelievable. Ryan Clark, I thought, was just, I mean, he was the perfect guy for that situation where everybody was just a deer in headlights, understandably so. And hearing him, he was unbelievable. He was riveting. He could speak from experience. He talked about a time that he got hit really bad and ended up in the hospital. Mikey V or Joe, do you remember? I don't remember that. I don't remember.
I was talking to you about this too. I don't know what.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I've watched so many Steelers games. It just seems like AFC North games involving these teams, the Bengals in particular, like Ravens, Bengals, Steelers. I couldn't count how many times I've seen a guy get knocked out on the field. And that's not really what happened in this scenario, but I'm just saying in general. I remember Ryan Shazier. I remember Antonio Brown. I remember the middle linebacker from Vontaze Burfict.
Yeah.
Like I just there's been so many times I've seen an AFC North guy on those, like, and it's always like a Sunday night game, rivalry game, and somebody just gets laid out and they're on the field for like 10 minutes. I just seen it happen so many times. I vaguely remember what Ryan Clark was talking about, former Steeler. So it's just like that division, man, is just, these guys, they play for pink slips over there, man. These guys lay each other out. Like it's black and blue division all the way. These guys play for blood. I mean, just extreme games, and that's just what I always associate. That's a bit low scoring, hard hitting, just brutal games. Brutal games.
Yeah, man. And I thought Ryan Clark was awesome, and he even before all this happened, I just think he's so good. My buy is in Ryan Clark. I think the guy is so damn good. By the way, you want to talk chiseled. This guy fits into a suit unlike anything I've ever seen. I mean, even with the jacket over on the top of it, just armed. This guy, he's got a good-looking guy, too.
Yeah, he keeps in good shape.
Good-looking guy. Joey D, we'll send it over to you.
All right. Before I do this, I just want to say I'm not here to try to ruffle any feathers. I'm not trying to upset anybody. I'm going to buy something that is going to be, it might cause some controversy here, but I'm going to buy, moving forward for the NFL playoffs, a new format for our prize picks that includes Joey D's picks. Because unfortunately, we have not hit a prize picks in what seems like a goddamn eternity. And I just think that a little change up, a little switcheroo in which we can come together at this as a team could benefit not only us, but the listener and the followers.
You know what? Prize Picks won last night, but that's neither here nor there. But in eternity, it hit last night, but that's, again, no big deal. Joe, we're going to go with your picks for the playoffs for the public. We're going to go with your picks.
I'm not saying for me to make the whole picks.
We're going to go with your picks for the playoffs. Let's see what you could do. By the way, I was only picking 6-teamers the entire season because
that's my point. That's
that's fine. I don't want to do 2-teamers. I could do 2-teamers and bore everybody.
Why don't do a 3-team power play and we can hit?
Not in last time I did a 3-team power play was on it was on one of our simulcasts at 1.
I know, and that hit, and that's smart. But what happened?
We're gonna go with Joey D's
put out this 6-teamer, right? It's like they put a little bit of cheese on a rat trap, and Bear Down's trying to get the cheese, and he keeps getting smashed. Okay. Why do we have to keep going for the 6-teamers?
I don't know, but I tell you what, if there was ever a night I want to hit a 6-teamer, if it's tonight, because you will never, ever hear the end of it if it hits tonight.
Mikey, I want us to hit more than I'm not taking a jab at you. I'm saying that we just keep going 6-teamers. We could be going 2-team power plays and winning.
If you want to go 3 or 2-team plays in the playoffs, I don't need any help then. If that's what you want to do, but I was told by someone, and they shall remain nameless, that 5 and 6-teamers are the way to go because of how much more entertaining they are. That's what I was told.
That's for the 5-teamer.
5 or 6. That's what I was told.
Did I say the 6-teamer?
Yeah, well, everyone was very excited when the 6-teamer came out. Oh, yeah, Mikey,
but the 5-teamer, here's my thing. The 5-teamer, if you hit 4 to 5, you get paid 2 times. If you hit the 5 out of 6, you still get paid 2 times, and you're in a whole nother game. Well, I hear you. And here's what I'm saying. I'm not asking you to take a step down. I want to work with you like we did in the past.
Wow.
Give me 1 or 2 picks.
Bob,
Mikey V, you make the other.
I think that's really
wow.
Team here. Wow. I'd like to contribute. I feel like I'm sitting on the sidelines like Tom Brady.
Well, you're very busy, Joe. You have documentaries getting made, and you're golfing every 5 seconds of the day. I don't know.
I don't have any responsibilities for Prizepicks. You hand me the rock, I'll take it.
I'm going to hand you the rock, baby. I'm handing you the rock.
Okay, so here's what I want. For the next 5
What do you want? Whatever Joe wants is what I'm going to do.
Listen, we're here as a panel, as a team.
I'm being serious.
3 picks go to Mikey V. 2 picks go to Cutsy.
So you want to do 5-teamers?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm done with the 6-teamers.
Okay.
It's like throwing money out the window. It's so hard to hit. And by the way, you're doing well. You're doing you're pushing. You're going 4 out of 6. You're doing very well. But the 6-teamers, I think we got to get away from them.
Here's the thing with the 6-teamers.
Only subs picks are fucking white hot.
Yes, you're doing great on that.
Subscribe to the only subs, by the way. Subscribe to the only subs. Thanks, by the way, Barstool Big Cat, who follows him, he is now part of the only sub.
Really?
This guy's tremendous, man.
Loyal guy. And I even messaged him and I said, that wasn't necessary. You didn't have to do that. We could have spoke on the side. Not that I would ever give free picks to one person and not to others, but I said, that wasn't necessary. He said, I will always, this is quote Big Cat, I will always support the boys. That was his exact words.
I'll tell you,
that's
man.
a class fucking act, man.
He really is.
He's a class act. He DM'd me instantly after the Bears got the first pick. What a day for us. He's just a class act, man.
Now, you get these guys joining. Do you get a little bit more nervous giving the picks out because they're hammering them?
No, you can't do that. Does it look like I'm more nervous? I'm 5-0 for the last 3 picks.
No, I'm not saying you're nervous. I'm saying, do you think about the fact that some of these guys are betting more than lunch money?
So last week I put up a thing where we hit the Rose Bowl bet and then we hit 2 more plays the next day. And I said, it feels good to deliver winners. I don't think people quite understand, when you're selling picks and you're actually doing that and people are actually investing their money, albeit $2.99 a month, which is really, you can't even get a cup of coffee on a daily basis for $2.99. So the price is right. It's cheap. But at the same time, you're putting something out there that people are purchasing. I don't want to disappoint anybody. When I lose those picks, people don't get it. I'm sick to my stomach when I lose one of those bets. I really take it to heart. It pisses me off. I go crazy. One of the other bets I lost one day, I lost my mind because of how bad the beat it was. The Coastal Carolina bet was one of the worst beats I've ever. So anyway, I put up there and I said, how good it feels to win. I was like, for anyone who thinks I take the losses lightly, believe me, I don't. And I put my money where my mouth is. All those picks are genuinely my picks. I they're on my betting slip. So I'm invested. People invest in it, and it's a lot of fun. And thankfully, we've been doing very well with the NFL. Very well.
But the prize picks, though, can we do that next week for the playoffs?
Joe, how many times do I have to say yes?
Look, I'm just confirming with Bob.
As hard. The 6-teamers are very, very hard to hit.
Yeah,
and
no,
really, all
they're
it
a
takes is
crapshoot.
all it takes is one
I
to
know.
really set you up for the whole
I know.
year. With that
Yes.
being said, the picks that Mikey V has put in, I've always said, you can tell with his picks and you watch the game that his finger is on the pulse. So these things are coming 4 out of 6, 5 out of 6. It's so hard to do it. I do like the idea though, and I think it adds for content purposes.
Oh, it does. It does.
It absolutely adds to it having Joey D. And look, sometimes Joey D gets on a heater. At the same time,
I can get hot.
If he goes ice cold, it's also hysterical. With all due respect, there, Joey D, it adds to it. So the board approves. The board approves. If we're going to bring him in for the playoffs, I think Joey D now coming off the bench, he wants the ball. He's taking the ball. 3 picks now go to Mikey V. 2 picks now go to Joey Coldcuts. And yes, we did get the continental breakfast here today, Holiday Inn. It was an extra $8. So we said, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? Fellas, let's go into Bobby Blockbusters.
No. Mikey V's got to buy or
I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. Mikey V, buy or sell. By the way, that don't happen often.
I tell you,
that don't happen often.
By the way, can we do a party bet for the Lions Packers on a side note?
What are we thinking?
I'd like to do over first quarter 9.5.
Wow.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Okay,
100%.
that's for later. But anyway, my sell tonight is a sell that I've been looking to sell for many years now. The national championship game in college football, okay? There is no reason on God's green earth that this game should be played on a Monday night at like 9 o'clock at night when the game automatically, college football halftimes, everyone knows college football halftimes are not like NFL halftimes, especially in bowl games. They take like 45 minutes for halftime. This game, college football is synonymous with Saturday. Why this game, the biggest game of the year, is played on a Monday? Every year, it needs to be changed. It needs to be addressed. It's absolute garbage. There's no reason this game should be played on a Monday night. It takes all the steam out of it. I would like to get together and do a little something for it, but at the same time, by the time the game ends, it's going to be 12 midnight, 12:30 on the East Coast, maybe even 1 o'clock. It's just ridiculous. I don't know whose idea it was. I don't know why it's been that way for so many years. Please, for the love of God, I'm selling the national championship game being played on a Monday. Play it on a goddamn Saturday night like it's meant to be played. I mean, what a party it would be if it's a good game. This year's game, I don't know. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think it lacks, obviously, the star power if Michigan was in or if Ohio State was in with Georgia or if Georgia was in with Michigan or vice versa. But either way, I'm selling Monday night national championship. It's trash. It's just trash.
I love the sell. I really do. I love the sell there. The only thing that I can think of, and I don't even like the college basketball after all the March Madness, they end up doing the Monday night. Do they get more viewers on a Monday night because nobody's
But I don't
doing
know
anything?
what's the sample comparison? Like, what's the sample size? What are they comparing it to? Like I don't know. Like, what are they comparing? What are they comparing it to? I've never seen it played other than a Monday night. I've never seen it played on any other night. I'm trying to think back to a national championship game that wasn't on a weeknight.
Why did they do like that?
I don't know. And it's probably is a ratings thing. I guess the NFL plays on Saturday night at the end of the year, so maybe they don't want to compete with that. But if you don't think that more people would be tuning into the national championship game than the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Tennessee Titans, I think you're mistaken.
Yeah,
I think they could share the wealth. I mean, you bump down the Chiefs game to a 1 o'clock game, you bump the Jaguar game down to a 4 o'clock, and you put the national championship game in the primetime slot. I mean, that game is deserving of that. Like, it's just if Michigan and Ohio State ended up playing in the national championship game. If that was on a Saturday night, it would break every record on television ever for live TV. It would compete with Super Bowl numbers. I
don't like Michigan, so I didn't want to see them win.
Yeah,
but I
they
did
are
have
a
in the back
powerhouse
of
for
my
ratings.
totally.
I mean, it's there's no question about that.
God, if there was an Ohio State, Michigan, if that happened to be the national championship, that would have been one of the craziest things. And look, I'm not saying TCU doesn't deserve to be in the national championship because they clearly do.
Oh, they definitely do.
But it's not. It sucks that the national championship game is a 12.5-point spread. I don't think it has nearly the buzz as these other ones. Maybe
I think
TCU
it's gonna be closer
surprises
than that, though.
I think Georgia runs through them, man. I
You
think
think
Georgia.
so?
Mikey V, what do you think?
TCU is a scrappy bunch. Georgia did not impress me against Ohio State. They did not. This guy, Jalen Carter, who's supposed to be the best defensive lineman anyone's ever seen, this number 88 from Georgia, I thought Ohio State contained him a lot more than I thought they would. I thought Ohio State had their way with them the entire game. Didn't end up in Ohio State's favor, as we all know. But Georgia, to me, if the quarterback plays the way he played at the end of the game there for Georgia, if Stetson Bennett could play that way the entire game, I think Georgia will probably handle them, but I do think TCU can hang around. I don't think Georgia's just going to go in there and blow their doors off. I think it's either going to be TCU is going to lose very, very close. That's what I think is going to happen. I think TCU is going to lose close. I hope it's a good game. Could Georgia blow them out? Sure, they could. Do I think they will? I don't think so. I think TCU is a scrappy bunch, man. Their interior guys in the line of scrimmage, they bullied Michigan, and Michigan was a trenches team. That's Michigan's strength.
And Max Duggan is a big-time player.
He's a gamer.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's a gamer, right? That's exactly right. By the way, I'm audibling off the over first quarter in the Packer game. I'm going to Packers over 13.5 points first half. I love that play.
Wow, Joey D. Very
promising. I think the Packers scored 2 touchdowns in the first
That's
half.
very promising.
By the way, though,
there.
I just saw, who we're going to have to play if we make it in the playoffs?
Vikings.
And they're going to steamroll us, is the Niners.
Yeah, that's the last team the Packers want to play.
We haven't beaten. That's
a huge mental hurdle for them. Yeah,
in a decade.
Yeah,
that's tough draw. I mean, we all remember last year, which was definitely tough. That was
a lot of fun though. That was a fun night.
I mean,
Joe, not fun, but I mean, it was fun when we got on the live with Big Cat. That was fun.
I was getting
that was cool.
That was fun for you, I'm sure.
Big Cat is, by the way.
I mean, by the way, Joe, I think I bet Green Bay. I bet Green Bay future to win the Super Bowl. So I mean, it wasn't all that fun for me. I had money on Green Bay to win the Super Bowl last year.
I know when you do these things, you hedge your happiness with in case the Packers were to ever win, you at least get something out of it. And I know exactly why you
necessarily. I think he could be on. I think he could absolutely be on to something here.
It's Bear Down's worst nightmare to watch Aaron Rodgers and the Packers potentially win another Super Bowl.
So
at least if he gets a bundle of cash with it, at least it sweetens the pot a little bit.
Like
his
bundle of brew coffee.
Bear Down just made the face that he knew he was guilty that Joey D made when he did the Vancouver Chinese thing, when he read out the Google thing and he was got ready. That's the exact face that Bear Down just made. The thing I want to say about Big Cat, because he has always supported us, without question, the hardest working man on the internet. Big Cat is in every single show. He does not stop. He just goes and goes and goes. And why? Because he enjoys the living shit out of it. He's unbelievable.
Who's white hot over there. I got to give him credit because every week I think about buying him every week and I forget. This Glenny Balls guy, man.
He's killing it.
What he's doing with this Only Stands where he just interviews porn stars every day and like these OnlyFans girls, he really twisted a narrative to really play in his favor. Not exactly the most attractive guy on the planet. Let's be completely honest. Probably an awesome guy to hang out with, 100%. Probably an awesome guy to hang. He's a DJ's guy, so I can identify with that. There's a little similarity there. So I'm in with that. But this guy just interviews smoke bombs. That's all he does all day is just
sex sells, man.
And listen, some of these girls, I mean, the IQ. I mean, this pillow may have a bigger IQ than
By the way, that is a pretty incredible. That's a pretty incredible pillow.
Yeah, shout out Mrs. Cougs for that. That was a housewarming gift from Mrs. Cougs.
Bob has, by the way, no idea what that means.
That's okay. Break it down for him, Joseph.
Va fanculo. In other words, in Italian means up your ass.
Seriously?
Quite literally means fuck you.
That's great. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Every time I watch the Bears on TV, I just hold the
Yeah, I don't know the rate. Like, I don't know how many downloads or whatever that Glenny Balls gets on that. I would imagine my guess is that high. It's pretty damn good.
The guy was just in Las Vegas at the adult video whatever convention, and he was just laying in a ball pit with like 8 porn stars. Like this guy, for a guy like that has to be, he's reached his zenith.
Yeah,
like, it's not going to get any better for Glenny Balls. It's just not. He's reached his zenith, and hats off to him. Good for him. Just impressive way to twist things around to your advantage. You got to give credit where credit's due. White hot Glenny Balls. Good for you, man.
Shout out Glenny Balls. Shout out Big Cat. Ladies and gentlemen, We interrupt the Brilliant Dumb Show to let you know the Brilliant Dumb Show is brought to you by Raycon Earbuds. The new year is here, and whether you're making big changes or just settling back into a consistent routine, chances are you could use some quality audio going through your ears. I know for me, it's absolutely crucial. Whether I'm listening to Billy Joel, whether I'm listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, the Brilliantly Dumb Show, whatever it may be, Raycon are the earbuds for you. Raycon's everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever. With optimized gel tips for the perfect in-ear fit, these earbuds are so comfortable and they will not budge. Trust me. Raycon gives you 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery life. All you got to do, go to buyraycon.com/dumb today to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon.com/dumb, D-U-M-B, to score 15% off. That's buyraycon.com/dumb. In the meantime, we are moving on. Bobby Blockbusters, okay?
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. Now, I understand that I'm the problem. I get it. I know I'm the problem.
You admitted it. That's a big step.
1000% from the start.
Okay.
Scent of a Woman was the recent movie, okay? It amazes me that you guys have all of these movies that you could possibly
We've
pick
been
from.
trying to hit every category, Bob.
It just, there's so many movies that you guys can pick. And I gotta watch. I knew from the start. Now, mind you, okay, first off, we've been doing a Bob Does Sports Week, so it was tough for me to squeeze that in. I didn't last long. I'd be the first to tell you.
Do you know when he tried to watch this movie?
I would imagine it was at
It was last night.
Yeah.
Last night, and you know what we had done prior to him going to watch the movie?
What?
We had a hot dog challenge, or not hot dog, taco challenge, where we each had to eat over 15 Taco Bell tacos each. He proceeds to go home, lay on the couch, and try to watch Scent of a Woman.
You know who Bob is? Bob is the guy. Bob's the guy in the group project in high school that waits until the night before to try and do his contribution.
Yes.
Are you not that guy too, Joey D?
I could be that guy.
Yeah, you bet your ass you're that guy too. So I don't want to hear that. Listen,
Bob, I think this week though, I got to by the way, the Bobby Blockbuster phenomenon. I have been getting more DMs like I give a flying fuck about what movies Bob should watch. I've been getting
whoa.
I've been getting inundated. It's just outrageous.
That's not good for viewership.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, people just continue to DM me names of movies, Bob.
They're involved.
Okay, so I will say this. Someone I think may have hit a bullseye with a movie, Joe, and I want to ask you, Joe.
You guys haven't.
I think that this may be. Someone said My Cousin Vinny. And I think My Cousin Vinny could be, it's not a long movie. It's a comedy. It's a classic comedy. It's kind of like the New York meets the South. I think it's up Bob's humor alley. I don't know.
But fair enough. Did you?
I gotta say though.
Did you? Oh, sorry, Joe. But did you really think that even Perez knew before I started that movie that I was doomed? Did you really feel confident in Scent of a Woman?
I don't feel. I got to be
2
honest.
hours and 30.
I gotta be honest.
Come on, there's so many.
I have one, bear down. I have one.
I'm not confident in anything right now.
I'm confident.
in anything.
Come on, guys.
I'm confident this week.
Go ahead, Joe.
We were in the car the other day, and I was just asking him movies that he's seen because I wanted to know what he's seen, what he hasn't. Bob has admitted to me he has never watched Jurassic Park. And that has to be the movie of the week.
Yeah.
And that I am very confident, Mike, from start to finish. If Bob doesn't like Jurassic Park, I don't know where we go from.
That's not for me. I tell you what, though, we're going right off the rails with his. He wants movies to be realistic. I mean, as soon as he sees a dinosaur, he
likes action. He likes the storyline.
I've already thought about that. That worries me a little bit.
It's a classic. It's Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Bob. I mean, let's just say for the sake of humanity, I think he needs to just watch that movie no matter what. So I think that's appropriate.
Please, Bob, don't quit halfway through the
movie.
No,
I won't.
Watch it from start to finish.
But the scent of a woman thing really
Scent of a Woman was a big
you guys.
Come
on, you guys are so much better than that, man.
I do like My Cousin Vinny. I think I think we could get Jurassic Park followed by My Cousin Vinny. We could be on a 2-game streak.
Yeah, I think so too. I
Jurassic
think we
Park,
get hot. I think
you
we
would
get
think
hot.
with the notoriety it has that would really set the people off.
You owe yourself the favor to watch that movie.
And you know what, though, Joey D? That I look forward to sitting down and watching that. I really would. Scent of a Woman was homework. It was a chore that I had to do. It really was.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I'm like, well, come on, man. These guys, why would they do this? It wasn't for him. We're 0 for 4. And the next movie, I think you guys have both agreed without question now, we will be going to Jurassic Park for the Bobby Blockbuster bit and keep firing in these movies. And if you are going to do movie recommendations, send them to Bear Down, please.
I'm Bob, I'm telling you, because I'm pretty active on Twitter and Instagram DMs. I'm telling you right now, I had to get 200 either mentions or DMs regarding movies that Bob should be watching. And literally by the second day of that pod being up, I was like, this was such a huge fucking mistake because I can't filter all this.
Terrible.
I know, but people are watching the pod.
It's great.
No,
by the
I
way,
love people watching the pod, but I mean DM Bob. He's DM Bob.
No.
Well, they're DMing us because we have to give the suggestions.
That's correct.
That's true.
That's correct, Joey D. Absolutely.
True.
We
should get a generic.
We don't want to discourage people from being involved.
We should get an anonymous tip line, like Brilliantly Dumb Show at anonymous tips at gmail.com, something like that. Where Ticket.
I would love eventually to do on the podcast a call-in segment where people could actually give their selections, and we could do like 2 to 3 a week, and we could pick from the best one.
Just channel my inner Francesa on that, and just take calls like my
Francesa.
I would love that.
We even have Jed already said something up prior to where we still have a number that we could roll out.
I think we'd be great if people called in just to hear the feedback.
You think that's a good movie? You think Jurassic Park's going to be a movie this guy's going to watch? Okay.
There's a select few of listeners that are gonna really, really appreciate what you just did. That was awesome. Okay, yeah. Look, it's been great. We're 0 for 4 right now. I'd even like to see in the YouTube comments, people to file in the YouTube comments is a perfect way to do it. File into the DMs. It is pretty wild. I've gotten even just a ton.
Oh, it's a lot. Yeah,
a lot of people backing.
People love it. People love it.
People do love it.
When you came out with Scent of a Woman, my DMs, there was a lot of people that were like, I can't believe they did that. No.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people.
People were like, what were these guys
doing? In retrospect, Scent of a Woman may not have been the greatest play. It may not have been, because I was thinking along the lines of how remarkable Pacino was in that movie, but we got to get somewhere else. The Heat, Joe. I was thinking Heat too, Joe.
Heat's not bad.
Heat's fucking action pumping film. And I mean, you get De Niro and Pacino and Val Kilmer. That's an all-star lineup, man. I digress. We'll get to that.
Yeah, I do want to see the comments, but yeah, overall consensus, Bobby Blockbuster's next one, Jurassic Park. I look forward to that. Just curious, how long is it?
It's not that long.
That's a 2.5 hour film. That's 2 hours, 35 minutes if I had to guess.
Is it that long?
Let me check right now.
Jesus.
Jurassic
you got
Park runtime. Jurassic Park runtime. No, 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Yeah,
that's
a big difference.
Bob.
That's 7 to 35 is a big difference.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's get into the top 5 before we go over to the stream. I like this top 5. I like all of our top 5s. This is going to be top 5 big chain sit down restaurants. So we're talking Applebee's, we're talking Chili's, big chain. I don't think we need to go too further into detail of what that consists of. You can't put in Chipotle to there. We are at a mutual understanding. We know what the big chain sit down restaurants are. These are going to be the top 5, and we are going to start with Joey Cold Cuts.
All right. So I don't know if I'm going to be on the same page as you guys here, because I got 4 that are like not high end and 1 that's very high end, but they're all chains. So starting number 5, I'm going to do one that I really like, no matter if you want to go for just appies or dessert or whatever. Give me the Cheesecake Factory at 5. I think it's really good. Bob's not a huge fan of it, but I like what they put out.
People are going to love that.
Low key, one of the best baskets of bread you'll ever get. Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, they do have a nice basket of bread, Joe.
That is going to be a crowd favorite selection right there, by the way.
Number 4, this is dear to my heart. A lot of people might disagree. This is where the inception of Bob Does Sports happened. and a place that's just a lot of fun. Red Lobster for me at number 4. Maybe not Mikey V because you're doing the 7 fishes, but not everybody gets to have that quality of seafood on a day-to-day basis. I think Red Lobster, what they do, it's nominal. It's not like going to blow you out of your mind, but it's always pretty good. Give me number 4, Red Lobster. Number 3, Mikey V. I don't know your thoughts on this one, but for me, being a fan of the Orient and Chinese food,
yes, PF Chang's, yes, absolutely.
Wow, man,
yes,
this list is doing real good
Joe,
right now.
I got PF Chang, full disclosure, in my list. Well
this
played,
list
Joe.
is
PF
killing.
Chang's can hit hard, early, and often. It's my number 3 pick. Number 2, I don't know if you've tried it, Mikey V. Bob, you've definitely tried it. This place smacks. Another kind of cuisine. This is Mexican cuisine. Give me Javier's, one of the better spots that you've tried. Bob, I
don't know Javier's.
It's a little, but
Javier's.
I just think that's a little more upscale than what it's good, but that's.
I've never heard of it. Is it on the East Coast?
It's really nice.
Is it on the East Coast?
I don't know. I was trying to make sure that the places.
My next one's even higher upscale.
I was trying to make sure that the places I was going to name are all over the place. So I've never heard of that place. I mean, I love Mexican. So
yeah, okay.
Javier's is really good. Maybe I don't know. I thought it was all over.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Okay.
I would hope you'd allow it. It's in my list. And then at number 1, I put a steakhouse chain, which I don't think is too high end, but I still think is very good, is Morton's Steakhouse.
I mean, Joe, not too high end. That's a fucking $200.
All right,
I believe the nerve on this guy.
I don't know if this is acceptable, but I got to put Fleming's at number 1. Just a tremendous place.
Believe this guy.
Ruth Chris is just a place where I just like to.
All right.
Like I would prefer Capitol Grill over Chili's.
Take it easy, Bob. You're starting to. That's might be one of my top 5s.
You don't have Capitol Grill on there.
I sure do, Bob.
Well, you can't put Capitol. These are high-end places, guys. I thought
Capitol Grill's no good. Capitol Grill's not fucking Morton's, is it?
I was also going to do Capitol Grill.
Okay. All right, I'm going to chop Capitol Grill.
I had Capitol Grill as one of mine potentially.
But no problem.
We're catering to the common man here with these.
Yeah, all right. Capitol Grill's out. Capitol Grill's out.
I will change, but this was never discussed prior to.
I thought we had the awareness that Applebee's shouldn't be on the same list as Capitol Grill in Seasons 52.
It's done.
Okay.
All right. Okay, then scrap the fucking Morton's. Give me Denny's at number 1.
Wow.
I'm scrambling here. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, you sure are. That's all right.
I don't know what you just completely hosed me. My starter for the game just went down.
We're gonna keep Denny's.
And I gotta call somebody up. I'm not prepared.
Yeah, no, we're gonna stick with Denny's at number 1.
That was the best 5-2 we've ever seen in the top 5. Joey D was on an absolute.
Well, you guys
roll.
How about this?
And then
Joe, we're gonna take Denny's.
No. And then he just panicked.
I got absolutely bought.
Impossible. He did get host.
I will tell you this: it was the best 5-2. I mean, you would have just rolled through that, and then he panic buttoned to Denny's at 1.
No, okay. Let me change it.
You can't change it, Joe. We're voting against it.
Well, I had to change my original.
Because your original was fucking Peter Luger's or whatever the fuck you said. Morton's. Fucking you had Peter Luger at number 1, cuz.
You know what's sick? You know what my original number 1 was?
Go ahead.
I changed it because I thought it was a little too lucrative.
What?
My number 1 was
Wolfgang. Yeah, this guy's sick.
It's a chain around
my number 1 is Rayo's, because there's one in Hollywood and in East Harlem.
Look, Joe, next week we will do the top 5 upscale.
I love that.
We'll do and that's when the Capitol Grills.
We could do top 5 favorite restaurants, period.
This is the sickest individual on the face of the earth right there.
I told you.
He really is. He really is.
I told you he's fucking sick.
He's the
no one wants to listen to me.
I've ever met in my life.
I got body bag there.
Hair looks good, though, Joe. Hair looks good.
It always does,
Look at that.
I'm growing it out.
Whoa. Look at that, man. Wow.
It's real long right now.
All right.
Bird of paradise. Look at that thing.
All right, Mikey V, it's all yours.
All right, number 5, give me Cracker Barrel at number 5. Cracker Barrel's a decent place, man.
Start.
It's a decent place. Not the greatest, but I think it's acceptable. Number 4, give me Red Robin. Very underrated burger at the Red Robin. I think Red Robin holds one of the better burgers. That's what you're going there for. Number 3, right back to the Orient with Joey D. Give me PF Chang's at number 3. Place is great. Also may have the most sodium per square mile of dish in any place in America. Number 2, a forgotten gem because there's not many left, man, and I think there's really few left.
Wait. Can we do it on 3? If we hit this, I'd be shocked.
Okay. One,
two, three. Ruby Tuesday.
No, we missed on that one. I got Hooters at 2. Hooters was such a great, the wings at Hooters are great. Obviously, the atmosphere is tremendous. Hooters was a great sit-down chain place, man. Was Hooters not? I mean, Hooters is a great place. Hooters
For
number
me
2.
to say Ruby Tuesdays and bear down and say Hooters.
Yeah, that was way off.
It was unreal.
And then number 1 for me is the Cheesecake Factory. I think in terms of diversity on the menu, in terms of being able to just really, you could sit down and you could get anything you fucking want. I understand some people think the menu's overpowering, but those are people who are most likely very indecisive with how they live their regular everyday to-day lives. Cheesecake Factory number 1 for me, but I think Hooters is the dark horse for me at number 2. I was even considering it number 1. That's how highly I think of that place.
Man, I thought I had PF Chang's and I thought it was going to be a home run. I didn't think anybody was going to throw that in. I'm not a huge Chinese guy becoming one, but I still think PF Chang's bangs. I think I'll get killed in this. I really do. I think I'm going to take
you're going to get killed.
We got to run through this. The lines are about to kick off.
At 5, I got IHOP pancakes. Very, very good. Stick to pancakes. Don't do anything else. Stay with pancakes.
That's a good call, IHOP. Very good call.
Yeah,
Very good call.
Just pancakes for sure. Number 4, same thing. Joey D actually taught me this. Give me Red Lobster, some of the best biscuits in the game. Their biscuits are unbelievable. Stick to just the lobster. Don't do any of the pasta shit. Yes. Stick to just the lobster tail. Red Lobster at 4. PF Chang's, I'm on board with you boys. Give me PF Chang's at 3. Number 2, it was a huge misfire. Give me Ruby Tuesdays at number 2. when I said Ruby Tuesdays and you said Hooters,
I honestly didn't think you were going to say Hooters, so I was like, all right, if he wants to do this, we'll do it. But
yeah,
okay,
Hooters at 2, and I just so happened to be wearing it today. Number 1. Give me Chili's. Give me Chili's all day long. Is it because they were a sponsor? Possibly.
Unbiased.
Possibly.
That's neither here nor there, though. And again, folks, sorry for cutting us a little short. We do got to go to the live stream. That will be posted on the Brilliant Dumb Show later in the week on the Brilliant Dumb Show YouTube. We're also going to be posting the best moments of 2022. I know that's a little bit late. Things are rolling here on the Brilliant Dumb Show. We will get our way to the charts, not on the tech genre. Mikey V, I appreciate you. Joey D, I appreciate you. Over to the live stream we go. That's another edition, the Brilliant Dumb Show. I love you, boys.
Let's do it.